As the NBA offseason approaches, rumors and speculation are starting to heat up. With teams already making moves, it's clear that the landscape of the league is about to shift. In fact, we've already seen some major offseason decisions, such as the Houston Rockets securing veteran center Steven Adams on a new deal, and the Orlando Magic and Memphis Grizzlies executing a blockbuster trade that caught everyone by surprise. But perhaps the most anticipated storyline of this offseason will center around Giannis Antetokounmpo and his future with the Milwaukee Bucks. The two-time MVP is one of the most dominant forces in the NBA, and where he ends up will undoubtedly have ripple effects across the entire league. While many believe that Antetokounmpo is committed to the Bucks for the long haul, nothing in the NBA is ever truly certain, especially when a superstar of Giannis's caliber is involved. On a recent episode of a Yahoo Sports podcast, veteran NBA forward Marcus Morris dropped a bombshell that has left fans buzzing. Morris hinted that there is a possibility of the Boston Celtics making a play for Antetokounmpo, a scenario that would send shockwaves throughout the league. It was very interesting to see that the Celtics were willing to listen to calls on Jaylen Brown and Derek White, Morris said. I'm going to tell you that now. That was a little sneaky. Not in the sense of doing bad by the players, but I think that was ahead of the Giannis thing. Morris's comments are intriguing, considering the Celtics' current situation. They have been the epitome of contenders over the last few seasons, but with the looming threat of massive luxury tax penalties, the team may have no choice but to make some difficult decisions. With Antetokounmpo's potential availability, Boston could explore drastic measures, including parting ways with one of their star players, such as Jaylen Brown, to make room for the Greek Freak. Just picture it. Giannis Antetokounmpo, donning a Celtics jersey, teaming up with Jayson Tatum to form one of the most dynamic duos in NBA history. The prospect of this duo is enough to make any basketball fan drool. It's a tantalizing thought, but there are a few obstacles that could prevent this from becoming a reality. For one, Boston is currently in a delicate financial situation. In order to avoid paying exorbitant luxury taxes, they will need to clear significant salary space this offseason. With key players like Brown and White already on the books, the Celtics are in a position where they'll likely have to part with some important assets in order to balance their books. This is where the Giannis conversation gets tricky. While the idea of adding Antetokounmpo sounds exciting, the Celtics would need to move pieces around to make it work financially. Antetokounmpo, who is set to make $54 million next season, would add a considerable amount to their salary cap. That said, the Celtics could try to maneuver a deal involving Brown, who is one of the most sought-after young stars in the league. By trading him, they could theoretically match salaries and still have the room to add Antetokounmpo. But even in that scenario, the challenge of fitting everything into Boston's current salary structure would still be daunting. And while many fans may fantasize about the pairing of Giannis and Tatum, the likelihood of the Bucks parting ways with their superstar seems remote. Giannis has been clear about his commitment to Milwaukee. The 30-year-old forward has repeatedly stated that he wants to stay with the Bucks, and the franchise is equally invested in keeping him. With 3 years left on his contract, plus a player option for the 2026-27 season, the Bucks are in no rush to move their star player. There's no indication that Giannis is looking for a way out of Milwaukee, and his loyalty to the city and organization is well documented. However, that doesn't mean the situation couldn't change. The NBA is a league defined by its unpredictability, and sometimes circumstances can force players to reconsider their futures. The Bucks are undoubtedly facing pressure to build a championship contending team around Giannis, and if they can't put the right pieces in place, A trade could become a possibility down the line. As of now, though, it seems like Giannis and Milwaukee are on track for a continued partnership. The Bucks have a strong roster with other talented pieces around him, including Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, who have all played significant roles in the team's success over the years. The team will likely focus on improving its depth and making strategic moves to keep them in contention.